the live symbol steady here, then we'll figure we're rocking and rolling here. And you see we're coming right up on 5 o'clock. And it does say live. It's about 20 seconds before the hour. And this is a special broadcast. They had an announcement, a Grand Seiko announcement today in Las Vegas. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And I'm going to load up on the iPad here the stream so I can keep an eye on your comments. Just give me a moment here. Right up on 5 o'clock. Okay, and True Liberty's in the house. I thought Craig might be heading to my great state, Florida, since he had not been on for a while. No, I don't go to Florida in the summertime. A little bit warm down there for me, but in the winter, it's gorgeous down there. So yes, there was an announcement today, and Steve from Little Treasury Jewelers might be doing a broadcast as well. Let's do another time check. There's that Grand Seiko Stunner. That's the 005 model. And I also have a news from a subscriber that he actually sold his Rolex Batman GMT, and they're calling the one with the Jubilee bracelet now, they're calling that the Batgirl. I think that's hilarious. I actually like the Jubilee bracelet model better, and I like that bracelet, and I also like the new movement. So I think he did good selling the original Batman. And I'm not going to mention his name because I didn't say I would, but he sold it for around $13,000. It's paid in full, and he's got one of these on the way. He's talked to Steve. He's on the list. Steve's going to get him one as soon as he can. And he's going to have an 005 on his wrist and a lot of cash in his pocket. So, Joey's in the house, and so he's confirming. So I guess we can use his name now. I don't like to do that without authorization. And he sold it to a friend of a friend, cash deal, so he doesn't have to worry about paying a big commission to somebody like Chrono24 or whatever. So that's the way to do it. I always used to say when you're selling anything, it's always good to not be in a position where you have to sell fast. When you have a buyer come along and it's the ideal circumstance for both parties, do the deal. And that way nobody's under pressure. You just do a nice deal. And then same thing with buying something. If you can take your time and wait for the right circumstances, haste makes waste is an old saying for a good reason. So Carlos is in the house, and Carlos doesn't do things hastily either. He takes his time and does the deal. And he's got I believe a Patek Philippe coming in the house on the way that he did a deal on. So I also want to talk real briefly about what we're doing with Adventure Park, and I'll bring this up on the laptop here. This is a still from their broadcast last night, and it was, I guess, about his third or fourth, and they're getting really good now, folks. They're starting to get their act together pretty quick. They're getting the audio situations worked out, and what's neat is he has a wireless camera, video camera, with the HDMI transmitter that you mount the transmitter on the camera, and then it transmits back to the receiver. It just basically takes that HDMI signal and makes it wireless, right? So they can walk around the adventure park there and interview people and so forth, and bring it back to the switcher, and basically like that's just one of the cameras. So it's really great to have that wireless camera capability there because it's a good sized facility, and it just makes it an interesting thing to watch. So check it out if you guys can get a chance. Adventure Park USA, they're broadcasting live on this channel, and they'll probably broadcast again tonight. They have this lock-in program. The kids graduate from high school, and then the parents get together. They rent Adventure Park for the night, and they come in at like 11 p.m. or something or whatever, and they're there all night till like 5 in the morning. And everything is included, so they pay a flat fee, and they can do all the rides, all the games, eat, everything. The idea being that these graduates can have a great time celebrating their graduation and not get into trouble out wandering around the streets. So I think it's a pretty cool deal. They had a different high school each night this week, so it's a pretty good program they got going on there at Adventure Park USA. Let me just refresh the chat here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Watch doctors in the house. It's so hot in Florida. There you go. You need air conditioning in Florida this time of the year. All right, so let's talk about these stunners. And I emailed Steve to try to get the model numbers. I still don't have all the model numbers on these, but I did put a link to this article in the chat. And this is on watchtime.com. And they talk about these models. And they really are gorgeous. These dials are really gorgeous. And these are all 40 millimeter, I believe. Some of them, this one's spring drive. And there's another shot. Let's see, yeah, that's the same. I guess that's the same watch. Okay, and then here's a different dial. Now that one's a high beat. And that one has the gold accents. I believe that he said these are all $6,300, so they're all the same price retail. It looks like they have the same case, which that's an attractive case. I kind of like the case on the Snowflake a little better personally, but this is, I mean, I would not knock it for the case. I'll put it that way. These are still stunning watches. And I really would like to see one in person before I make my final decisions. But yeah, there's the one with the blue dial. So, and Gary Anderson on Facebook shared some photos. Let me see if I can pull those up. And it has been a little while since I did a live broadcast. It's been a few days or whatever, but it's just a busy time of the year. So let me just pull this up and I'll show you the little post that Gary shared. And by the way, if you guys aren't following Gary on Facebook, I highly recommend that you do. If you reach out to him, tell him that you know me, and it'll all be good to go. So here's the post that he came up with. And stunning photos they are. So, but again, I don't have the model numbers on these. Maybe if some folks can chime in the chat if you guys know the model numbers or have more information on these. And I wonder how thick the high beat is versus the spring drive. I wonder if the spring drive is a little thicker or if they're the same. Usually the spring drive models are a little bit thicker, maybe a millimeter or so, but that might not be the case on these. Don't have enough details yet, to tell you the truth. And I checked Steve's website and I couldn't find the details on there. Of course, these were just announced today, so that could be the issue. Let me know in the chat if you guys know anything about these watches, if you've done any research on them, what your thoughts are on them. Let me think what, and by the way, same old thing, right? This guy, in one of the forums, he had a couple of these ugly watches, like an offshore and a, whatever, Nautilus, whatever, these ugly watches with the integrated bracelets. And he had a side-by-side of the two watches, right? And I said I would pass on both, right? He was asking which of the two he should get. I said I would pass on both. And he said, well, what would you get? And I said, well, give me a price point. So he gives me the price point. And I said, a date 840. He said, $25,000. I think you might be able to sneak a date 840 in yellow gold for 25 grand, a cash deal. They usually sell for around 28 or so. I think you can buy them for 28.5 new. So I think you could do a deal on one previously owned for 25 grand. So I suggested that. Oh no, I've had my fill of Rolexes with fluted bezel. I want to step up to a whatever, right? An Audemars Piguet, right? An AP. Yeah, I don't think that's a step up, guy. You're buying an ugly watch there, and a steel watch to boot. You're going to buy a steel watch, and you're going to pay date 840 money for it. Yeah, I think that's a real mistake there. Okay, so there you go. They are stunning cases and dials, but GS has got to do something with the clasps and micro adjustments. It's why I went to Omega instead. True Liberty, that is a good statement. That is a good statement. I agree they should do something with that. I have the problem kind of solved, and you shouldn't have to do a workaround, solve to solve a problem like this is in hot weather, when my wrist is expanded basically, or will kind of expand and contract, if I go in and out of air conditioning, stuff like that, then I'm wearing this one. This one has that real nice quick adjustment, right? And so then in the wintertime, when I'll typically be wearing a long sleeve, then I can wear this one. And it's sized perfectly for those weather conditions, so I won't have to mess with the adjustment. But folks shouldn't have to do that kind of workaround. You shouldn't have to get creative to come up with a solution for a bracelet problem that should be fixable. Of course, some people put a strap, a real nice leather strap, and I've got Moe's Leather. I forget the full name of his company, but anyway, he's sending me a strap that I'm gonna try on this one and see what it's like. I've not been a fan of straps. I'll be the first one to say, but I have an open mind, and I'll be happy to try one of his and see what it's like on that GMT. I will report to you. I'll probably do it. Well, I don't know if I'm going to take the bracelet off live. I probably won't do it live on the show. I'll probably just put it on and then live on the show show you what I think about it. Let's see here. Timeless has some pictures of the new release. So yeah, that's the article that I linked to in the description. So yeah, there's some nice pictures. I would like to have some more details. I think the 40 millimeter case, I think is what they said on all of them. I wonder how thick they are. That would be good information to have. So, and I guess it just has the same clasp as a snowflake, I would guess, because it looks like it's got the same bracelet. See, with the polished, the 5-piece length bracelet, it's got the same bracelet as the snowflake, not the same as this GMT. This GMT has the simpler bracelet without those center polished, the smaller polished pieces. I like either one. This one has the little polished pieces in there. A little bit of extra bling. Either one works for me. David Williams in the house. Hi, Craig and all. Timeless has some pictures. Okay, I just read that. I ordered the new Grand Seiko Spring Drive SBGA 415 from Steve today. Whoa. Warren Snook in the house. When are you going to get it, Warren? And are you going to come in the chat and show it off? I mean, Skype in and show it off when you get it. I'm going to try to pull that one up. SBGA 415. 415. Whoops, 415. SBGA 415. Let's see here. Oh, here's an article on Timeless. Oh, wait a minute now. Is that the new model? Oh, so that's the new model. Okay, well, thank you. At least now I got the new model number. Yeah, here it is, SBGA 415. Okay, so I got to make sure I've got that in the description of the video. Give me a second here, folks. I'm doing a little surgery here on the video live. The video that we're streaming on, I'm editing. This could be a disaster, folks. This could be a disaster. But I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so I'm going to add this model number to it. And if anybody comes up with any other model numbers while we're here, give them to me for these new watches so that I can have them in the video description. Okay, let's see here. Well done, Warren. Andres, are both your watches quartz model? Andres, are you asking me? Okay, one is the spring drive, the SBGA 231 spring drive, and then this one is the 9F quartz movement. So there, yeah, this one's a spring drive, and one's a 9F. If you're not familiar with the spring drive, let me put a link. I didn't put this link. I always normally do. But let me put this link in the chat. I'm sorry. Oh, shoot. My text expander's not working there. Okay, well, anyway, I've got a link on my website, CraigShipp.com. Just click the pull down, go to Grand Seiko. I've got a whole page about the spring drive and how it all works and all that technology and everything if you want to learn about that. And there's also some information about the 9F. Let's see here. Okay. Did you buy a new watch? Okay, I'm not sure who you're asking that. I do hate straps and rubber. True Liberty. Well done, Warren. Warren's a rock and roller. Okay. Steve getting orders thanks to Craig. Well, that might be the case. Absolutely. Well, Steve's a good guy. We don't mind helping Steve out. Yeah, the summer one is gorgeous. Release date for the new GS model is September, Craig. Warren Snook. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we got all the models in the chat there. Let me add them here. Let me make sure I get them all in the description here. 413, 415, SPGA 415. 415, okay. And let's see what other models we've got that we don't have covered yet. SBGH 273. 273 and SBGH 271. Okay, so let's save that. We're doing surgery on the video description here. I wonder why my text expander's not working. Let me make sure that program's running. Text. We're troubleshooting things live here on the air, folks. That's how we do it here. Text expander, there it is. Okay. All right, so now text expander is running. Let me see if I can put my shortcut in here. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. CGS. That's not working. It's just not working. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy and paste it. Give me a moment here. I'll be right back to you guys. I know this is very rude, but I'm the kind of guy that I like to do stuff right away. I like to do it right away. Otherwise, it tends to not get done. Okay, so I put the link in the video description to my Grand Seiko page. I should have had that already in there, but this was hastily put together. This whole show was hastily put together. Came in a few minutes late. Which did you sell and which is on order from Steve? Okay, he sold his Batman. A couple of years old Batman for $13,000, I believe. He can confirm in the chat. Looking to get the SBGY 003. What do you think about that watch? Let's check it. SBGY 003. I'm sorry. SBGY 003. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. I'm trying to pull it up here. Oh, whoa. Yeah, that's a stunner. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a stunner. If you want a dress watch, that is very elegant. Very elegant. I like the way it's so clean. No date, no power reserve. I believe this has the power reserve on the back, if I recall correctly. Let's see here. Limited edition case power reserve display. Yeah, I think it's on the back. So, and I believe this one's relatively trim. Let's see if they have the dimensions here. Yeah, 10.2 mils thick. 38.5 mils, 10.2 mils thick. That it will be a stunning dress watch. I mean, that's just that 38 mil. See, that's about the same size as this, and even thinner still. My GMT is 12 mils thick, which is nice, which works as a dress watch. This one's 10.2. So, yeah, 2 thumbs up for that. Now it is on a strap, but again, for a dress watch that's that elegant, I think it's very appropriate that that be on a strap. So I absolutely wholeheartedly am supportive of that little number there. Let's see here. That watch looks great. Congratulations. Okay, sold my bat one. Okay. Yeah, but hopefully he'll get it fairly quick, Joey. Hopefully he'll get it. These watches are going to start getting harder to get, folks. I can tell you that right now. I've been telling folks that on my channel here for a while, that the time is going to come when it's not going to be so easy to get these watches. Let's see here. Good evening, Craig. Oh, by the way, does my audio and everything sound okay? You guys usually let me know if it doesn't. Wags, a good evening, Craig and the Wrench Gang. A little late as I've been out mowing with my John Deere zero-turn mower. Wags, there you go. Yeah, I had a grasshopper mower. It was fantastic. Let's see. It's a great trade. Congrats and well done indeed. David Williams in the house. He could buy a Bitcoin with the leftover money and then some, but he better move fast. Better move fast. Let's see. This is not advice to buy Bitcoin. I've never told anybody to buy Bitcoin over when it's been more than $5,000. To me, I would not pay more than $5,000 for a Bitcoin. Of course, I have a pretty good stash, so it's easy for me to say, right? If you don't have any at all, then I guess you got to buy whenever you can buy. We may never see $5,000 again. I don't know. If we do, I'll buy some more. So, Warren Snook, great time to get out of a Batman. They get out at the top. Slight pullback in Bitcoin, but the trend is still up. Wags. Uh-oh, who's this? Let me see who this is. Hello, CraigShipp. Hey, good. I'm actually in the middle of a live stream. How you doing? So, are you gonna sharpen your pencil up on that shotgun mic? Yeah, make sure they're going to sharpen that deal up, and I'll mention it on my review. I'm live right now, so you can check it out. But I'll mention it. And now this is if the mic really works out well. Now, one quick question before I let you go. I've got this mic on a boom arm right now, and it's just a Beta 57. Okay, Shure Beta 57A, and I've got about a 1.5 foot away to the left on the table is a Roland V1 HD mixer, video mixer. Are you with me so far? Okay. That thing's got a fan that blows out the front, makes a little bit of fan noise. How much if I point that shotgun mic at me, sort of like the way I'm using this Beta 57, to try to get a little bit of isolation, right? Do you think it'll be able to give enough isolation to use it in this type of situation, or am I pressing my luck? So the proof is going to be in the testing, really, for sure. All right, well, listen, I got to get back to the live stream, but yeah, sharpen those pencils up, and we might do a deal on that Sennheiser shotgun mic. All right, take care. Yep, bye-bye. All right, there you go. The shotgun, 413, whatever, the $1,000 Sennheiser shotgun mic. That's what I'm looking at, thinking about using here. See, I could have it a little bit, I could probably even have it off camera and point it at me, but I'm just wondering if it's going to be directional enough to not pick up that fan noise. I don't want to pick up that fan noise any more than I am already. So that's why I haven't locked and loaded on it yet, to tell you the truth. I'd hate to buy it and have it not be any better, have it not help the audio. Let's see, my Stunners of 2019 SBGA 287 limited edition. Snowflake with a blue face. Okay, there you go. Let's see here. My second stunner is SBGA 221, a GMT with a beautiful beige or cream colored face. Well, there you go. Absolutely, that is a very, very nice watch. The spring drives, oh, is that must be Steve commenting as me in the chat. That's funny. Yeah, Carlos says Steve seems to be in the house. The spring drives are titanium. The high beats are steel. SBGA 415 winter. Gray dial blued secondhand. SBGA 413. AG spring, summer. Okay. There you go. There you got some details, some stats in there. So both the spring drives are titanium. Wait, can you clarify that, Steve? Why would they all be the same price? Why would they be $6,300 if some are titanium and some are steel? It's kind of bizarre to me, because the titanium watches are usually more money. Like the titanium diver, this one is significantly more money than the stainless steel version of the same watch, right? Hi, Steve. Craig is in motion getting things done, even while live streaming. There you go. That's how things are done on this channel, folks. Always in motion. James Scott, he's in motion. I'm sure he's making things happen. That's right. Absolutely making things happen. So I'll show you the microphone that I'm thinking about getting. So this is the mic. It's the Sennheiser MKH 416 shotgun mic, and this is like the standard in the industry for Hollywood, and any sound guy worth his salt has one of those Sennheisers in his kit. A lot of voiceover guys use it because it just gives such clarity on the voice that they don't even have to do much post-processing. It's an amazing mic by all accounts. But the advantage to using something like this Beta 57 or an SM58 or even an SM57 is all of those mics have a pretty good proximity effect where you got to be pretty close, right? You get away from the mic and it drops off pretty quick, right? Which is good when you've got fan noise 18 inches away. This Roland, I love this Roland switcher, but its Achilles heel is that fan blowing right out the front. So I'm concerned that shotgun mic is not going to have enough rejection and that it's going to pick up more of that fan noise. That's what I'm worried about. Let's see here. Brown dial SBGR 311 is a stunner. For me, the stunner of the GS range is the limited edition SBGM 235. Okay. SB 235. Let's pull that puppy up. SBGM 235. We're going to pull that puppy. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that is stunning. So it's a GMT. Let's see what the size of that is. 39.5. See, 13.7. See, a dress watch that's that thick, that just starts pushing it for me. I don't know. I mean, it's about the same thickness as this watch, okay, just to give you an idea. This one's 14. So it's not that much different. But this is a big sport watch. I don't know. I don't know that I would want one that thick. Let's see here. Multitasking. I thought he was talking about a Browning trap shotgun. There you go. Hey, we could talk about that too. Absolutely. And Warren's in the house. He says all 4 watches are the same price, Craig. High beat is more expensive than spring drive, and titanium is more expensive than steel. Balances out the same price of 6,300. Okay, interesting, interesting. Warren coming in the house with some facts and figures. Well, I really think that I like the watches. I am such a big fan of this watch, and as far as a all-arounder, if you were going to pick one watch, the only downside to this watch is that no micro adjustments. And again, your mileage may vary. Some people have more issues. I can tell you, as I've gotten older, my wrist expansion and contraction issue has gotten worse, right? Back in the day, yes, I would usually adjust the watch when wintertime came. It would be a little loose on the wrist. I'd move it one click on the, all the Rolexes then had the micro adjustments on the clasp, except for the date 8. The date 8, I would have to, on the hidden clasp bracelet, I would have to take a link out, right? So I typically would take a link out going into the winter, fall, when the cold weather comes, and then I'd put a link back in the spring, and that would be it for adjustment. This thing, sometimes on a real hot day, I might adjust this thing out a quarter of an inch. It's insane. So, yeah, the hot weather is more of a problem of the expansion issue than the wintertime. Wintertime, I find my wrist is pretty consistent all winter long. It's pretty consistent, right? But summertime, you could be in air conditioning all day or whatever, and your wrist kind of contracts and the watch is kind of loose, and then you go out in the heat for a while and, you blow up like a balloon. So it's an issue. So, yeah, I really wish if they had some way to deal with that clasp adjustment issue on that watch there, for example. That could be the perfect all-around watch. Really, really it could be. But I'm blessed in that I have both, so I can wear this on the hot days. And hot days, typically I'm always wearing a shirt like this or a shirt with the sleeves rolled up, so that fitting underneath the shirt sleeve is not an issue. So I've got a good mix here where I can wear this in any of the hot weather situations, and then I can wear this one when it's cooler and when I'm wearing typically a long sleeve shirt with a shirt cuff that it needs to slip under. So let's see here. What else? Let me just refresh this, make sure I haven't missed anything here, folks. Any of the hot weather situations. There we go. No, don't think True Liberty. Let's see. In Florida, I swell like I just got out of all-you-can-eat buffet. True Liberty. Yeah, I hear you. What are we going to do? How are we going to get the message to Grand Seiko that they've got to deal with this issue? They don't listen to me, so it's not going to help me saying anything. Is there any way you think that we can get the message to them so that they will hear it? Because they should fix that issue. But then again, they probably don't really care, because they're getting to the point now where their watches are starting to get kind of in short supply. They're pretty much selling everything they're making, and they can't really scale up. I was talking to some folks that know a little bit about their supply chain and their production procedures and all. They can't really scale up. They can't hire enough people. They have apprentices that they've been training, to do the watchmaking, but they can't scale very rapidly. So maybe they just don't care. Maybe it's like, hey, if you don't like it, buy something else, right? Because they're selling every watch they're making, I guess. That's probably the issue. It's probably one of the reasons why they don't listen to me. Barton watch straps are good for that. Okay, let's check out Barton watch straps. Barton watch. Watch straps. Barton. Okay, so Let's pull this up. It looks like they've got like just a whole bunch of different kinds of straps here. Whole bunch of different straps. Alligator grain. By the way, I would not buy an alligator grain watch band strap. I'd either buy the real alligator or buy something else. And I think the alligator grain ones look kind of fake. Yeah, I've got a strap on the way coming from Mo, so I will let you know. I'll let you know what that's like. Mo Legacy Straps. Okay, he was kind enough to offer to custom make a strap for me for my 005, and I think he shipped it already, but it's got to come, I guess, from Romania, so it could be a little while. But we'll see what it looks like on the 005. It's going to be a gorgeous strap, I think. I think it is going to be a gorgeous strap. So I look forward to seeing that. Just trying to check and see if there's anything else I need to show you. Let's see. Joe and Gary cannot relay the message. I don't think they listen to them either. Yeah, I don't think they listen to those guys either. That's the problem. The problem is the folks in Japan, they kind of like to do things their way, and they don't like to take constructive suggestions from the folks on the other side of the pond, the other side of the world in this case. Yeah, I think they figure those folks from the USA can just kind of keep their opinions to themselves. That's the impression I get. I just don't like the feel of anything on my wrist except metal. True Liberty. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Samuel Gray, I get that. A lot of people in the UK are annoyed that some of the latest GS offerings are not coming here. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't understand this US market thing and all this stuff. I mean, Rolex, as far as I know, never does that, right? Rolex comes out with a model and it's available everywhere. Isn't that the case? The GS folks, in my humble opinion, have no clue when it comes to branding, marketing, anything like that. They know how to make a nice watch. They make a nice watch. I'll give them that. But branding, marketing, no. And we've knocked on the bracelet, but the advantage to the bracelets, the way they're making them, and the way the one on the GMT is, the advantage is it's very trim, right? If you allow room for adjustment, then it's not going to look as elegant on wrist. So all of these things are trade-offs. So I get that, but I really think in today's day and age they could engineer it in such a way that it would be an easier issue to deal with. As case in point, the Apple Watch. I have the link bracelet on my Apple Watch, and it's relatively easy to take links out with no tool or anything, just with your finger, right? It's relatively easy. I mean, it's not a piece of cake, but it takes a few seconds, 15, 20 seconds, whatever. I mean, you just have to be kind of careful. You push in the thing and you kind of pull it out and you take the link out, you put it back together. It's very doable, right? So they came up with a method to resize the bracelet very easily, right? Why is it impossible? And that bracelet's very elegant. Let me get it. Okay, so here's the Apple Watch with the link bracelet, okay? Very trim, very elegant. This watch is only about 10 mils thick, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to put it on. I'm going to show you that it's very elegant on wrist. Because, oh, it's an Apple Watch. Hey, give credit where credit is due, right? This bracelet, see how flat it fits to the wrist? To me, that's pretty elegant looking. Now, I'm usually not a fan of an integral bracelet, but these are very easy to change. One reason I don't like integral bracelets is usually that's not the case. Usually they're kind of tricky to change, and sometimes you can't even hardly change them, right? These are very easy to change. And for this design of this watch, it makes it look kind of cool that it's real broad, right? It's just part of the whole look of the watch. So it's very elegant, very easy to take links, add or remove a link, right? So folks, and this is very comfortable on wrist, by the way, I will tell you. So this is very doable. This problem can be solved. All right. Now, of course, Apple has a ton of money and they, but others can solve this problem. I say they can if they want to. Let's see here. Does your GS GMT have a crystal case back so you can show off the... No, it does not. They do have a few of the 9F movement watches that do have a display back. But the 005 is more of a sport model, and it does not. It does not. And usually, by the way, that adds a little bit to the thickness, so I'm just as happy that it doesn't have it. Cheetown, California. Hey, Craig, there you go. Apple sells more watches than the entire Swiss watch industry put together. Warren in the house. I hear you. So, yeah, they did something right with that watch. It's a heck of a watch. I will tell you it is. So we're going to wrap up here pretty soon. This wasn't meant to be a long broadcast, but let me know if you guys have any other questions, comments about anything we've talked about or anything else. 9F is a finished movement. Too bad. Yeah, it's a very attractive movement. Absolutely it is. But a lot of watches hide their movements. I mean, Rolex hides all their movements, right? They don't have any display backs. I had a display back on the, on the Snowflake. About 2 or 3 times I looked at the movement, right, when I first got it and all that. After that, it's just on the wrist. You're wearing it. You're never looking at the movement. So I think a display back is kind of like a thing that is not really needed, if you ask me. So, I mean, it's sort of like having a clear hood on your car, right? So you can look at the engine. I mean, you might do that a couple times and then you're like, okay, so there it is. I'll tell you, I had a apartment for years down in Bethesda that was on the 14th floor of a 18-story high-rise, luxury high-rise, Promenade Towers down in Bethesda. And I still have promenadetowers.com, the website. I maintain that for the realtor that sponsors it. And so, but anyway, I was on the 14th floor. I had a beautiful view. The whole pool area, just a very gorgeous view, right? And, when I first got the place, I'm sitting out there enjoying the view all the time and looking at stuff and, enjoying it. And then after you're there like a few months, right, it's like, okay, there's a view. You don't even look. It's sad. It's sad, but true. Secondhand is off the mark, Martin Luther. See, that's the camera angle. So in real life, it's right on those marks every time. But depending on where it is as it goes around here, you're going to see it's going to vary. It'll be like before the mark, and like right there, it's kind of on the mark, right there, right on, right? And then as it goes around, you're going to see it'll be after the mark, right? So that's the camera angle. All right, so here's the thing. Don't believe everything that you see in a video or that you see on TV. See there? Now it's after the mark. Things can be deceptive. Think about it that way. So if somebody shows you a photo of a watch and it's like, oh my gosh, it's not hitting the mark. Well, is it hitting the mark and the photo's lying to you? Think about it. Think about it. Sometimes things on the internet are not truthful. Let's see here. Let's see what else we can do. Craig, we've only seen you wear the GMT a couple of times since you got it. Wear it more, please, Tom Austin. It's hot weather now. This isn't the time of the year that I will wear it that much, but I'll wear it. I'll put it on for a show if you want me to. But it's not the time of the year I would normally wear it. And the beauty of the 9F is it's just going to keep running. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need wrist time to keep running. That's the beauty of if you're rotating it with a watch that does need wrist time, like this watch needs wrist time. You don't have to like put this watch down and say, oh man, I got to wear that one for a couple hours or it's going to stop. You don't even have to think about it. It's just going to keep running. That's what's kind of cool about having a 9F in the rotation, is you don't even care. It's just going to keep going. Craig, would you ever get a Crador? We'll see. That's very possible. Maybe an all-gold dress watch, something really elegant. I might. There's a few I've seen that I like. We'll see. My next watch is going to be all 18-karat gold, I can tell you that. Yellow gold, more likely. I don't like rose gold or any of that stuff. The only useful watch with a display back is a JLC Reverso. There you go. I would gladly take 200 meters watch resistant and a solid back than 100 meters and a display back. Sure, but I mean, I'd even take 100 meters with a solid back. I mean, think about all the Datejusts, right? They're all 100-meter watches with solid backs. I mean, I just think that the display back is a little bit of a gimmick. That's all. Or is this? Yeah, I can't believe on every 9F video there are so many comments about the second hand missing the mark. Tom, I know. People just don't have a clue. And there's so much fake and false information out there, and sometimes I'll get in a debate with somebody in one of the forums and something, trying to straighten them out, trying to do them a favor. And they'll just argue with me like they know what they're talking about. Like a Royal Oak is like a good watch to buy, like an Offshore is an attractive watch, and it's like my Grail and all this. I say, hey, listen, if you can get it at list and sell it and make a profit, do it. Get out of that watch and then get something nice looking and put it on your wrist. If you can buy an ugly watch and you can make a whole bunch of money on it, that's one thing, but I would not want to wear an ugly watch all the time just because everybody thinks they're cool. That's not a good move, I don't think. Let's see, Craig, would you rather have an Omega Aquaterra or a Rolex Datejust or Orchard Perpetual? I think the Aquaterra is a little thicker. Tell me the thickness. I think they vary, but yeah, probably the Datejust because I think they're 11.7 mils thick, most of them. And the Oyster Perpetual might even be a little thinner than that. I think I'd go with one of those. Absolutely. For an all-arounder, it'd be a good choice. That way you could wear it for dress and sport. I think that the alignment thing is kind of entertainment for people that know what happens if they troll. Actually, that's possible, but also it's possible that they don't have a clue what they're talking about too, Carlos. Kind of like an iPhone with a display back. What's the point? Rolex hasn't made a watch with a display back in generations. Warren, bringing some facts in the house. Go Wrench Gang 2020. The 2020 halving is coming up. 2020 halving is coming up in less than a year now. Rolex doesn't need it. There you go. I don't think anybody needs it. I don't think anybody needs it. I think it's a gimmick. That's the definition of a gimmick, is something you don't need. All right, well, I am going to wrap up the show here pretty soon. I'm expecting a phone call maybe coming in around 6 or so. And it's getting up on there now. Let's see here. Cheetown. People told me that Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet stainless steel is a precious metal, but then they also told me that dating site pictures are 100% accurate. That's a good point. That's a really good point. And by the way, I want to thank the folks at Timeless Razors. Timeless Razors. That's how I got this amazingly baby close shave. is I use this puppy right here. And they're made in these United States of America. You know, for once, I actually enjoy shaving. Can you imagine the difference? A nice double edge, super well made razor can make, and I'm saving a lot of money. Money that I can use to buy more Bitcoin. Think about that. Think about that, folks. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. What are your thoughts on ball watches, Craig? I would probably pass on the ball watches. I would probably take a pass on that. Grand Seiko all the way. Blue says Grand Seiko leads the way. Get them while you can. They're starting to get harder to get. They're starting to get waiting lists on some of the watches, folks. And these aren't fake waiting lists like Rolex has. This is the real deal. These are limited production watches. They can only make so many of them. And the demand is starting to outstrip the supply. And this could be a problem for those that want to get certain models. The 231 is starting to get harder to get. Okay, this model right here on my wrist. Matter of fact, if I'm going to sell it, I just think I just raised the price. I said I'd sell it to a subscriber for $5,000. I think now the price is $5,500. Price just went up. Price is going up. Let's see. I plan on getting the 9F GMT and wearing it most of the summer, no matter how hot and humid it gets. Tom Austin in the house. Absolutely, wear that puppy. Now, when you size that, if you size this watch, it's got the screws, but it's got little pins in there, and it's got little tiny screws. You take the tiny screw out, and then you take the pin out, and you don't have to take the screw out both sides, I understand. And then you resize it, but be careful. Be very, very careful. From what I'm here, it's easy to lose those little tiny screws. I looked at mine, and I wouldn't even attempt it. I would not even attempt to resize it myself. And I swear one of the screws looks like it's already gnarled up and you know, might even have trouble getting it out even if you knew what you were doing. The screws are tiny, folks. They're freaking tiny, okay? Little Treasure Jewelers in the house. Hopefully a Skype in from GS in Las Vegas next. Okay, so you're going to do a broadcast. I'm going to wrap up here in just a couple minutes. So I guess you guys are going to be doing a broadcast, and hopefully you'll have something live coming in. Well, that would be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see. David says, great. Tom Austin at Little Treasury Jewelers. There you go. Little Treasury Jewelers. Craig needs to get off. Okay, there we go. I'm going to wrap this puppy up. Don't sell your GS Diver, Craig Warren, Snook, exclamation point. I probably won't because these are getting really hard to get, folks. Really hard to get. All right. Wrap this puppy up. Wrap it up. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Hey, click subscribe, click the bell so that you don't miss any of Steve's broadcasts. We're going to complete this event. Thanks again.